This has some warnings in it. Um, but basically, it has body/weight insecurities is the main focus of this, and is basically just some hurt and comfort audio, basically. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, here we go. You met Bakugou Katsuki in your first year of UA. Well, the entirety of Japan met Bakugou Katsuki, but you just so happened to be the one to be on a stage with him. It was the UA Sports Festival, a time for the heroes course to show off to the pros while everyone else gets ignored. And maybe it was that fact that got you to being on the same stage as the aggressive blonde. You were in one of the many general studies classes, situated in the far back of the crowd of first-year students when you heard the blonde utter the word, "I'm gonna win," before you soon went to damn near kick his ass. Honestly, the day felt like a messy blur. You kind of struggled through the internal course, obstacle course, and came in at a place only merely necessary to meet a goal. Followed by that, you decided to boldly ask to join the group with the boy who had won the obstacle course. By all the means, you kind of expected the team to lose with that large target he had on his back and the number of points. Yet your group reached the winners, and you found yourself in the final 1v1 battle with only one other general studies student alongside you. It was rather a big opportunity for you. Although your intentions weren't necessarily to be a hero or join the hero course, the recognition would be kind of cool. The idea of trophy glimmering in your head for a moment before the bracket appeared before the whole stadium, and you found your name in place besides Bakugou Katsuki. You lost that fight to almost no one's surprise. The hero course student had much an unfair advantage in these types of fights. With your combat and quirk work, no matter how powerful you attempted to make your quirk, it stood no chance against Bakugou, and you lost. For a moment, that was the end of it. You fought Bakugou Katsuki, and you two went on your separate ways for the day and after the sports festival until one day at lunch, a tray slammed itself before you. Sorry about that, a voice soon followed. Oh, shoot. I'm Asido. You were at the sports festival, right? The one who went against Splasty? Your quirk was so cool. Thanks. You laughed as her comment awkwardly. You recognized the girl who wouldn't form said sports festival, but at the time you had no clue why she had even talked to you in the first place. Do you want to come have lunch with us? She then offered and regularly gestured to the table behind her. It was full of more 1A kids who were also at the sports festival. Actually, all of them were in the battles at the end. Mostly notability, the explosive blonde was there. Are they just doing this to make fun of me? If I say no, she'll probably just do it anyways. Maybe she'd be nice for a bit more? You considered it. Yeah, sure. You agreed, grabbing your own tray and following her to the table. In your second year at UA, you had become a long-term official member of the unofficial Baku squad. Needless to say, that one day at the lunch turned into several more, then daily, then you spending most of your time outside of class with the group. Oh, and you'd fallen in love with the group's most violated titled member, Bakugou Katsuki. Bakugou, despite all odds, proven to be much nicer than you accepted. He was still explosive, quirk to haul insults at everyone or anything he didn't like, and a bit standoffish. But the time you two spent together proved to change that. He was kind of the others of the group, offering training help and advice, homework assistance, a shoulder to cry on or rant to, and practically a fierce protector if anyone decided to talk shit. And at the end of the day, or rather your first year, you'd fallen in love with him. It was nearly your summer break after one far too long semester of school, and you were kindly welcomed welcoming the cool dorms during the rather hot days. Although first you had face-to-face with Bakugou Katsuki before you could even ever go to your room. Usually you meet up with the group on a walk back to the dorms, but during the warmer days you decided to make your way to your dorm room first before heading to 1A's once. So it was a shock to find Bakugou Katsuki greeting you in the empty halls as the elevator doors opened to your floor. Hey? You fiddled with the straps of your school bag as you greeted him. Go out with me, he quickly replied. You should have expected something so quick and blunt from Bakugou. He frantically admonished of rambling and refused to do it to himself, and hated when people weren't straightforward with him. Yet despite all the knowledge, the first words to come out of your mouth were, "Huh?" He scoffed, but his eyes quickly shot to the floor, and his attention moved towards digging the toes of his shoes in the carpet. If you don't want to, then just say so. That's not what I meant. I'd love to, you assured him. I just didn't expect it, is all. He rolled his eyes before moving towards you. Don't think bad about yourself. Bakugou didn't add much more to that before continuing. I'll meet you at 6 in front of the dorms tomorrow. I'll see you there. You met his eyes one more time before he was off to the elevators. His ears were tinted a shade of pink as he retreated. Once you were sure the elevator had closed and began to move off the floor, you had yelled out a loud yes. The next day went by with a magical film over it. You were physically in class, but your mind was at 6. You wondered what the date would be, some secret garden on the campus, a picnic, or something chill in the dorms. Soon you were past the evening and towards future dates outside of school, your high school graduation, even your adult years. Needless to say, the end of day bell smacked you back to the ground as you exited the building for the day and realized just how close the date was. I didn't even think about what I was going to wear. Should I have gone to him something? Should I have found something? What if I don't even have what he likes? You wondered as you made your way back to the dorms. You barely even noticed when you ran into a person as you walked. It was a bit delayed, and you paused to apologize to the person. Sorry, I wasn't. You're coming with us, they replied quickly. Huh? You took a good look at the person you had bumped into. They had a UA uniform, dark sunglasses, and strikingly pink hair and skin. Mina? Where did you get the sunglasses from? You shrieked as a much taller figure behind you picked you up. Go get him. Let's go. A voice that was distinctly Sarah spoke from behind you. What's going on here, Sarah? Put me down. Sarah basically sprinted with you towards your dorm buildings. You were sure that in a blur of people that passed you, one of them was Bakugou. The journey was soon ended with Sarah unctuously asking for your idea that opened the dorm room. Thankfully, he finally listened to your protests to be put down and allowed you to open up your dorm by your own self. You've been ambushed by the Baku squad, Mina declared once the door had shut behind the group. Sarah obviously now stood beside her, alongside Kaminari, Jiro, and Kirishima, who were probably trailing behind the whole time. Why? You could have just, knocked? You sent Sarah a quick glare. And doesn't Bakugou usually join on these things? No, this needed to be a surprise, Mina insisted. It really didn't, Jiro quickly added in between. We need to get you ready for your date with our resident explosion boy. She conceded while sending a glare of her own towards Jiro. You know about that? You muttered. There was a silence for a moment before Mina was shaking you by the shoulders. Of course we know about it. You guys are so obvious, she screeched loudly. Bakugou said he was going to, Kirishima added. You barely managed to hear it over your brain rattling against your skull. So, what exactly is your plan here? You asked. Right. We need to go through your closet, Mina declared before she headed first to your dorm, then your closet alongside some of your other friends. In the end, after a lot of needless back and forth between the group, you had selected an outfit. It was a dress that you had stored away in the back of your closet. You weren't exactly sure when you packed it, but it probably ended up mixed within some stuff and found itself back where it would have been at home. It was a floral patterned dress with short ruffle sleeves. As you stared at yourself in the mirror, waiting for 6 p.m., you realized why you forgot about this dress. Oh, shit. It was smaller than you wanted it to be. The sleeves made your arms look too big, and they showed too much of your legs as well. And with each turn to see the side, it felt like your stomach just made more and more of a bump in the fabric. Maybe I should change and apologize to Mina for not wearing it. You thought after another turn to the side. Before you could even execute the thought, a loud knock came from the door. They better not be trying to give me another advice, you thought. Kaminari had came in at least 3 separate times to inform you of a new idea he had for something smooth you could do. You promptly forgot about all these suggestions he had left. Kaminari, I don't. Well, you were met with a face of blonde. It was the other blonde of the group, your date. Bakugou. Hi. Sorry, I thought you were someone else for a second. You quickly corrected yourself. I thought you wanted to meet me outside the dorms. I didn't want to wait anymore, and I knew you were ready and with how much those dumbasses were running around, he explained with a scoff. Bakugou had on jeans, which you were completely unaware of him owning, and a belt, and a shirt that did not have something to do with skulls. Well, I guess you weren't wrong, you awkwardly replied. You looked back into your room for a moment. There was probably a better outfit in your closet sorry, I can't read right now. Could find another quickly, but Bakugou had already seen what you were wearing. He was likely not to stay quiet about it if you changed your outfit now. You ready to go? He asked. Yep. The ID was immediately locked behind in your dorm as you exited with Bakugou beside you. The walk to wherever Bakugou was taking you was quick. It seemed to just be around the back of the dorm's building. UA itself was a large hill surrounded by trees, but Bakugou had managed to find a spot within the trees that left a perfect frame to see the shining stars in the sky. You didn't see Bakugou as a stargazing guy, but as he stopped by some blankets on the ground, your predictions of the blonde only shifted more. Do you do this often? You asked as you took a seat. Kinda. It's a nice place to go when everyone's being annoying. Bakugou sat on the blanket before quickly leaning on to his back. It seems like it. You agreed. You were hesitant to lean backwards, knowing that your discomfort in the dress would only further. Lay down. It's easier to see. Of course, Bakugou was soon to comment on it, and it gently tugged at you until you were laying into a laying position. So, why was Tape Face carrying you like a fucking sack of potatoes earlier? Bakugou began. Oh, yeah. You laughed. They wanted to give me a makeover for this date. He scoffed. Dumbass. After a moment of silence, he quickly, very quietly nodded. You look good, though. Thanks. You happily accepted the compliment. Oh, hey, that's a shooting star. You pointed as a small flash of light that traveled a bit across the sky before disappearing. Huh? Haven't seen too many of those, Bakugou replied. Guess I'm lucky. He turned to him, a small smile crossed his face as he spoke. It wasn't like his regular evil smirks, but a real smile. Yeah, you are. Bakugou replied. His hand moved closer to the in-between space between the two of you. He wanted to hold your hands. The thought made you happy, and you wanted to shift your own arm so that your hand would join him. But the action alone sent a shooting pain of fear throughout you. Your hands were resting over your stomach and successfully hiding how gross you felt in your body looked in this dress. So regularly, you left your hand at your stomach and pretended not to notice. After a moment, Bakugou's hand moved close to his body again with a small scoff. So, what else do you plan to do? You tried to brush off the situation. Don't know. Thought maybe we'd talk a bit. Bakugou replied. So why'd you ask me out? He began. Because I like you, obviously. That's a stupid fucking question. Doing little to hide whatever anger he was intending in his sentence, he turned his head away, while the clear red blush that still illuminated his ears. Why wait for so long, then? Lena seemed to think we were so obvious. You did a poor imitation of the pink girl's voice as he repeated her words. That pink bitch doesn't know shit. He brushed off the comment first. I wanted to focus on hero shit. Didn't see the use for any friends or anything like this if I wanted to be a hero, Bakugou answered honestly. You two had plenty of these conversations before on a similar topic. But that changed, obviously, he replied. Yeah. He didn't add much more to that before offering his hand out again. He certainly noticed your quick glance back towards him before once again ignoring the offer. He scoffed much louder this time. I'm not gonna blow you up, you know. I know that. It's just something else. He trailed off. I'm not fucking sweating or anything of that shit, he added. No, there's nothing wrong with you. I don't like this dress. He responded honestly. Much like the previous topic, the two of you had talked about a lot of your insecurities, so you hoped that somewhat vulgar description would make sense to him. If he didn't, as he responded with, there's nothing wrong with it. Looks nice on you. It's not that. It looks bad on me. I'd love to wear it more, but I don't think I have the right body to keep wearing it. It has nothing to do with you, I promise. I explained further. The hell does that mean? Your body's fine, he continued to deny. I don't want to say this because I find this word offensive, but I'm going to have to. I'm fat, Bakugou, you interjected while sitting up. You aren't, though. Bakugou followed your actions as he sat up alongside you. Don't lie to me. I'm so much bigger compared to even the people in general studies class. You remember those articles from first years during the sports festival? You were about to start reciting some of the articles' titles that now held a special place in your mind. I don't care what you call yourself, but you're saying it like it's a bad thing. Bakugou halted your ranting before you could even continue. He seemed to struggle to come up with his next words before settling on stand up. He stood quickly and barely waited for you to fully get to your feet before he picked you up in his arms. There's nothing wrong with your weight. I still like you, no matter what your weight is. The other extras are the same. The people who actually care for you don't give a shit what you look like or stupid things like numbers on a scale. Got it? Besides, I can pick you up just fucking fine. He emphasized on so by lifting you even higher, again for a moment. He was much more gentle than Sarah was earlier. His hands supported your lower back and the side, while your legs were wrapped around his torso, and your arms keep your upper body weight close to him. And, as true as he was, he held you up without much struggle from your position. Thanks, Katsuki, you replied, kissing him on the cheek. Whatever. His ears remained the same shade of red as he looked away from you.